What's going on, everybody? Byrdman here with another Outriders video. Today we're going to be talking about the new patch notes and balancing notes that they there we go. See, haven't done this in a minute. All right. That's it. All right. What's up, everybody? Byrdman here with another Outriders video. Today we're talking about the patch and balancing notes for July 28th. Now, this was announced at the beginning of the month that this is going to be a huge overhaul. We're going to have a lot of different things here, and from the get-go, the little calling card we have here shows that we're getting item locking added, quick mark improved, apocalypse tier grind reduced, crafting costs reduced, resource gains increased, expedition rewards improved, and balancing changes at an 80%. I have no idea what any of this means, but what I do know is you can follow me over on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Byrdman778 and use code BYRD at advanced GG checkout for 10% off. We just got partnered with them, so you guys need to absolutely, be spamming code BYRD as much as you humanly can. Get yourself some juicy cherry limeade, or I got the energy rainbow sherbet right now. It's insane, absolutely insane. But what's also insane are these patch notes. Let's get right on into them. So first off, they say that the patch notes are going to span two different announcements. Obviously, I got two different tabs here open and ready to go. First off is going to be the quality of life changes, implemented item locking, and a quick mark functionality on legendary apocalypse epics and apocalypse legendary rarities. Change the behavior of the camera when sprinting to make the sprint behavior between toggle and hold sprint consistent. The camera will no longer turn when players are sprinting. Interesting change there, but the item locking is absolutely insane. I have actually deleted way too many pieces of purple gear recently, honestly, just because I get so many of them. I just quick click through them and end up clicking something that I'm actually using. So this is going to be a very good change for us to have. They mentioned end game changes, apocalypse tier leveling, starting from apocalypse tier 20. The requirements to level up to each apocalypse tier has been reduced by 10%. Honestly, I think it's a start, but I still feel as though from what I've experienced so far of the grind, 10% is a little maybe 15 to 20% might be a little bit more noticeable, but again, you're going to be able to grind up to that higher apocalypse tier a little bit faster now. I definitely recommend still doing it in groups, going through the Targa guitar trials. Next up is resources anomaly extract. The amount of anomaly extract gain has generally been improved. The amount of anomaly extract gain target troves has been increased by 500%. That's huge. That's a huge change. We're going to be getting a lot more extract. That's really nice. We like to see that. A full run through target includes troves should now net out around double the amount of anomaly extract per run when compared to before the pass. Boss rushing the final arbiter will net slightly more anomaly extract than before, but this will not be effective route for anomaly extract farming. So they're adding stuff. We like to see it. We like to see this. Crafting and upgrading, starting at the item level 50, anomaly extract cost required to upgrade gear has been reduced by 5%. Yeah, I think 10. I'm always gonna go a little bit number higher probably than a lot of these things, just because again, from my own experience, what's been going on in the game. Between the two boat changes, increased gains and reduced cost, players should be able to start supporting upgrading full sets of gear apocalypse tier level. This should enable a greater amount of experimentation and limit the need to hoard resources. So, I mean, that's great. We like to see it. Starting at apocalypse tier 11, increased changes for apocalypse variant gear has been increased for each apocalypse tier. So, higher apocalypse drop rates after 11. Huge. This is a big thing that I've been wanting in the game, just because it feels as though it's weird that I'm apocalypse 34 at this point and I'm still getting so many regular pieces of gear. So ideally we're going to see a big change in this. Expedition rewards have been increased in order to make expeditions feel more viable alongside target. The loot gain per times investment should now feel quite similar to between expeditions and target. People should now receive a greater amount of epic and legendary items and comparatively fewer rare items in expeditions. I don't think rare items were the issue. I think it's the fact that we just weren't getting apocalypse versions of these. So we're going to have to see how this is. We'll see. Anomaly extract farming should now feel much more viable to do in expeditions. Yeah, again, I don't, the wording here, apocalypse gear is the issue on getting in expeditions. It's not just just getting, epics and legendaries. So we'll see. We're gonna have to do some testing on our own to really confirm that. Bug fixes, progression related bugs, fixed bugs that allow players to miss a PAX point if they transitioned out of the Fisherman fight. Fixed a bug prevented characters from transferring the World Slayer. Fixed a bug that could prevent co-op players from leveling up even if they had acquired all required experience. And fixed a bug that caused players' health to improperly calculate if leveled up immediately after dying. Bunch of just little stuff there. Bugs fixes for skills and nodes. Fix the bug that caused twisted rounds, volcano rounds, and blighted round skills to be blocked when firing one shot. Fix the bug that prevented the mod's minefield, legendary minefield, from being triggered. Devastator, oh gosh, Devastator stuff, this scares me. Fix the bug that prevented Devastator's PAX node's finishing touch and earth and shell from properly working after player transitioned from a no weapon area. No idea what that means, but whatever. Technomancer fixed the bug that prevented Technomancer's paint launcher skill. They were too close to walls. Fixed the bug Technomancer's cycling between camera slides with a minigun. Fixed a issue with Technomancer with the tool destruction. Trickster, there's a bunch of stuff there. I mean, you can kind of look at this yourself, but just fixing different bugs with like Hunt the Prey I'm seeing is pretty much the main one. Twisted rounds, Venator's knife with inconsistent damage, and the time rift mod and weightlessness to end prematurely. Bug fixes on gear. Fix the bug that prevented Technomancer's Green Inventor set from triggering. Fix the bug that caused status power provided to items multiplied instead of decreased. Interesting. Fix the bug that prevented the mycologist set from behaving properly in the transmog menu, and fix some with Wraith Smash. So again, just a lot of like fixing bugs and on nodes and stuff like that. Let's look at the mods one, because this one actually might have a bigger impact to us. Fix the bug that caused shock and awe mod to trigger more often than intended. Yikes. Fix the bug that caused a relatively thorough mod to inconsistently refresh. Fix the bug that caused Untamed Power mod to skip cooldown. Trickster's Hunt the Prey. Fixed a bug that prevented Pyromancer's mod, Ember Shield, and triggering other stuff. Again, a lot of just, bug fixes more than anything. I don't feel like I really need to cover all of those for you, but let's start looking at the balancing changes. This is kind of going to be more what I think we're really expecting to get out of this patch. The complete patch span notes to announcements again. Preamble, all changes to today's patch have been carefully considered, and many are the result of direct feedback and discussion with the community. For additional context around those choices, a few weeks the World Slayer launch, we had been able to gather enough data. We drew up a full view of the PAX nodes and used the percentage. The task highlighted that a small number of nodes were seeing usage of 40% to 60% or more. Ooh, so they're really gonna, this is gonna be a big change here. Let's just jump right on into it. Balancing changes, Apocalypse tier leveling. Starting in Apocalypse tier 20, the requirement to level up each Apocalypse tier has been reduced 10%. Again, yeah, we kind of got most of all of this stuff going on here. Don't really know why they felt the need to do that. But balancing changes for Devastator. Guys, my little pebbles out there, this might be painful. This could be amazing. We're going to find out together. Earth and Shell added a 0.5 second cooldown. Note that due to display rounding quirk in the engine, the cooldown will be displayed as being 1 second. It is, however, 0.5 seconds. Actually greatly increased shield generation values. Explanation: Earth and Shell has been identified to be slightly too strong, so we're applying a brief cooldown to the shield generation that was being abused through excessive animation canceling. This will give some enemies a little more opportunity to be able to damage Devastators who are otherwise immortal. We have compensated the implementation of the cooldown with increased shield generation per skill used. The Earth and Shell will provide a great value potential for abuse. You know what? Honestly, that's totally fine. I mean, they're increasing the shield value. Cool. Doesn't really matter all that much. I mean, especially like a 1 second cooldown. Like, okay, cool. Like, I think we're still going to be like as immortal. It's kind of crazy. Multi-strike. This is going to be the big one. Stored damage is now capped at 700% of anomaly power. Explanation: multi-strikes untamed potency has been a topic of discussion since the launch of World Slayer. In an attempt to not completely gut its numbers, we have applied a cap that add a movable through anomaly ceiling in the node. Okay, that's fair. Terms of engagement stored is now capped 700%, exactly the same thing. So essentially, the one tapping is being capped. But I mean, guys, again, you're still going to be able to almost instantly melt bosses with these two skills. So I'm not too stressed about that at all. Actually, that's a fair change. Finishing touch, increase ammo to weapon damage confiscated provided to this node as part of the drive to make firepower Devastator more viable. We're increasing the conversion of missing ammo to weapon damage by upping the value more than its previous 1-to-1 relation impact point. Increase the damage scaling from 30% to 50% anomaly power. That's insane. It was already like one of my top damage things, but now you're increasing from 30 to 50%. So my anomaly power is like 3.5 million. 50% of that is being added to. That's crazy. That's nuts. That's great. We love to hear that. Obliteration, increase base anomaly power and resistance piercing by 6 to 10%. That's amazing. Upheaval, increase percentage of stored damage from 10 to 15%. Ugh, I hate that. I wish it was more. Fixed a couple bugs that caused Devastator's Upheaval Pax node to act in unexpected and inconsistent ways, such as acting differently when triggered in Impale skill. Yeah, I mean, that's cool, but, you know, I wanted it up a little bit more just because it was crazy seeing like millions of numbers on Upheaval damage. Elitism, fix a bug that prevented the Pax node elitism from correctly working on bosses. Reduce the cooldown from 5 to 1 second. That's huge. Overwhelming force, increase armor to damage conversion from 40 to 60%. Absolutely insane. I love that. Paladin champion. Okay. Ooh, here we go. Remove the protection keyword required and change both nodes to activate on any skill. What? After long discussions, we came to the conclusion in order to truly unlock Devastator's build variety, we had to remove hindering factor protection keyword on both of these multiplier nodes. This changes is part of an overall power shift to make more Devastator sets play styles more viable. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. I'm shocked right now. So now you can just go into the nodes themselves and just free fire whatever you want. That's insane. Mighty tank change. Oh my God. Increased percentage cap from 40% to 50% for both anomaly. We are raising the ceiling of the Warden Devastator, so you can reap more benefits. That's still bad. I'm gonna be 100% with you guys. 40 to 50% does not change anything. Middle tank is still gonna be absolutely horrendous. People can fly. We have to make a bigger change than this. It needs to be either uncapped or it needs to just be such an obscene high number. 50% is not anything. Sorry to be the downer there. Despair, to reduce the percentage of its anomaly damage multiplier from 100% to 30%. That's a huge nerf. What? That's huge. Despair and Power Gravity Leap has been dominated Omni tool since Worldslayer launch. Provided inconsistent survivability, while the survivability is unique to characters Gravity Leap, Worldslayer, Despair, single outlier. Damn. Well, I mean, they're pretty much saying since we're getting Paladin and Champion with this, that Despair should be fine, but I hate that. That's very depressing. Bullet Acceleration increased from 33 to 60. The Strongest Fist increased damage to enemy with the highest HP from 50% to 75%. That's pretty good. Bannerlord Legendary Set added extra functionality. Provides 35% anomaly power bonus. No fundamental changes made to the gear pieces. May not apply to existing items due to the way that the game spawns shares loot. Oh, so I have to refarm all that stuff, but at least we're going to get 35% bonus to our anomaly power. That's huge. Increase both percentages of shared physical anomaly damage from 30% to 50% on the Marshall set. That's huge too. Concussor set, they did a huge change here. Primary attribute switch to bonus firepower. Why? Secondary attribute switched from close range and status power. Note, fundamental changes made to the gear pieces may not apply, blah, blah, blah. Explanation, concussor set suffered severe case of identity crisis. The set was intentionally designed to be non-power bruiser, but progressive layers within certain packs nodes were not cooperating with the set's premise. We have decided to shift the set from support firepower builds, same way Devastator Deathproof set might. For both of these sets, damage is generally primarily from armor stacking and set bonus effect. The change is concussor set should unlock better synergy for packs nodes. We'll see. We'll try to make a setup out of it. Statue set leg slot. Item now provides bonus firepower instead of max health. Huge. Absolutely huge. That's a really good change. We like to see that. Okay, with Technomancer stuff, lethal devices added a 0.2-second cooldown onto the effect itself. I know that was a huge one for Technos. I haven't really played anyone outside of Devastator, so I'm just going to kind of rush through these. I'll just give you the quick explanation for things I noticed. Twin Reaper increased echo damage from 25 to 35%. Really nice to see. Kinetic Converter reduced cooldown from 5 to 1 second. Huge increased cooldown from 0.5 to 1 second on Hasted Influence. Burrowing Charge reduced cooldown from 5 to 3. Blightfire fixed a bug that caused Technomancer's Flame Leper Blightfire set bonus to consume and trigger off a toxic and had been applied to other players, which is in turn denied those players the application of toxic. Fixed a bug that prevented toxic multiplier mods from correctly working and apply Blightfire. Shit was broken. We fixed it is their explanation. That's funny. The Downpour legendary set increased cluster scaling from 100% to 115% anomaly power. Really good changes there, honestly, from what I've seen. On the Pyromancer set, carbon footprint increased cooldown reduction from 0.5 to 1 second. Carbonization increased damage multiplier from 20 to 25%. Convection reduced cooldown reduction from 4 to 2. Arsonist reduced cooldown from 5 to 4. Solar Flare increased critical damage stack from 10 to 15%. Critical mass increased duration from 2 to 5. Master Exploder did reduce conversion rate from 100% to 50%. That's a little bit of a loss there. Backdraft reduced anomaly power ramp up stack from 30% to 25%. Trigger sequence increased ramp up per stack from 25 to 35%. A burnt offer increased damage ramp per tick from 10% to 20%. Wildfire fixed a bug that prevented wildfire and conduction pyromancer skill tree nodes from being effective. Players were pushing their limits of the cooldown reduction. Mark the anomaly increased the damage against marked enemies from 10 to 12%. Reduced the resistance reduction from 40 to 30% on suspectability. Reforged legendary set increased thermal bomb damage from 100% to 200%. That's insane. Increased feed the fames damage from 100 to 200%. Huge buff on the Reforged set. That's awesome to see. And then Torturer set increased damage shred from 30 to 50%. And then finally, to kind of close out the changes on characters, we have the Trickster. Quantum Entanglement increased shred damage from 20 to 30%. Spectral Tactics from 3 to 5 second increased duration. Cheap Shots increased debuff duration from 5 to 10%. Increased armor and resistance shred from 30 to 40%. Spectral Spike cooldown reduced from 1 to 0.5 seconds. Temporal Blade base cooldown reduced from 19.8 to 16.8. Wild Slash increased base damage from 6.5 to 13. Slow Trap reduced cooldown from 10 to 8. And then Terminal Velocity legendary set weapon damage increased from 60 to 80% of that value. And the basic changes, all classes, Maxwell Demon set, fixed an issue where set was counting for bonus firepower instead of total firepower. Ooh, really good to see. Trigger Twitch set increased firepower coefficient from 40 to 280%. That's a huge jump. Mage's Rage, we were expecting this. Fixed a bug that caused unforeseen issues. The amount of stacks to the anomaly power calculation. Fixed a bug that was preventing stacks from dropping away as attended when players swapped. So Mage's Rage is getting a little change there. Self-medication. Mod was not fully restore players' health every time it's triggered. That we figured that. No resistance against Fortify was dropped to 65% from 100%. That's sad to see. Dark Sacrifice reduced health drain from 50% to 25%. Increased the damage output by 10%, so it's now 35. That's a really good change. Killing Spree increased the damage boost from 10 to 13. Increased duration from 8 to 15. Fortress increased damage boost from 20 to 25%. That's really good. First things first, reduce the armor piercing from 50 to 30. So they're really going after all that resistance, armor piercing stuff. Tactical Retreat increased base damage from 54 to 62. Shock and Awe increased range from 5 to 10 meters. Anomaly Power class nodes increased anomaly power values from 10 to 15%. Anomaly Power class nodes increased weapon value from 8 to 15. So they just buffed everything. Really good changes here. There's a lot of stuff in there though that I'm a little back and forth on. There's some Devastator changes. Obviously, I'm happy about, but also a little about. Really good to see that the changes to the loot grind, but at the same time, we're gonna have to experience that ourselves before we can really make a big a big opinion on it. So just stop on by my Twitch channel. We're going to be playing here today. I've also been playing a lot of Warframe recently, so stop on by if you like Warframe. And note that on the 29th, I'm having a big giveaway stream. So I'm going to be giving away things from Advanced GG, Azeron, Pillar, as well as Zydax PCs. So stop on by. Let's vibe out, have a good time. It's going to be a subathon, so it's longer that you sub and give money and all that fun stuff, the longer I stream, and then the more things I give away. So very fun day. But regardless, let me know what you think of these patch notes down below, and make sure to follow me over on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Byrdman778 and using code BIRD at AdvancedGG checkout for 10% off. Guys, thank you so much. Hope you have a great night, day, or whatever it may be.